All right. It is my privilege to introduce Jon Light. Jon Light, come and join us here, and we're going to get this up and going. Jon Light.
Good morning.
Jon Light has he was a he's a certified, but since he's not working for anybody, he's in transition like the rest of you. He's not a certified Franklin planner. You have to be employed, but he's going to tell you a little bit more about himself. I'm excited about this to get things kicked off. First of all, we're going to get the screen up and going. Um, got the sound, John.
Oh, good.
Does that look good?
Uh,
Okay. Everybody tell me if they can see something that says personal mission statement. Let's see a thumbs up. Okay.
and let's put it in presentation mode.
Okay.
No, not that one. Over there.
Perfect. And give me one sec to let one more person in. Okay. And John, do you want me to just put this so it's just, how do you want this on the side?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll let you go from there.
Okay,
All right, it's
great.
all you, John.
Thanks, Steve, and good morning, everyone. Let me start by apologizing for wearing a hat this morning. I don't usually wear a hat when I'm facilitating something, but on Friday I went to see um, a skin doctor, can't think of the right name right now. And not only did she burn a bunch of sun places on my head, she took a biopsy, which left a place about as big as a dime. I don't want that to disrupt what we're doing here today. So that's why I'm wearing a hat. Now, it's a Mickey hat because this year is Disneyland California's 70th anniversary. And I was there the second day it was ever open to the public. Tells you a little bit about my age. Um, I just a quick background for many years. I've been all kinds of things. Engineering manager for a piano company. I was a certified tuner technician, plus did all the designing and things. But for 15 years, I was the corporate manager of workforce development for an office furniture electronics company by the name of Kimball International. You might have heard of Kimball pianos, I don't know, but they don't make pianos anymore. And from there, I moved to Home Depot 10 years ago as a senior learning specialist. Now, Home Depot just restructured and laid off, actually let go, more than 800 people. Um, there were six of us trainers that lived here in the Ogden, Utah area. Now there are only two left. So that's enough about me. You'll hear my mission statement before this is over with. But I want to start off by saying we are about to enter into a journey together today. Um, and it's kind of an odd journey because we're all starting from different places. We're going to travel on this journey together. I will ask you, please don't work ahead because you'll get to a page where you think you know what to do and it will mess you up. So please stay with me page by page as we go through this today. And what makes this journey a little odd is once we finished and we're at the end, all of us are going to end up in a different place. I just want you to know that no matter where you're coming from this morning, and no matter where you end up today, it's okay. It's right. Okay, so let's begin on this page. You don't have this page that I don't think that I'm looking at. Um, your personal mission statement. Really, it's probably more accurate to say that it's your purpose and meaning in life. Stephen Covey said, "You do not invent your mission, you discover it." And that's what we are going to do this morning. Think of your personal mission statement as your governing constitution. Um, in your own words, think about what does the U.S. Supreme Court use the Constitution for? If the president, we've had a lot of executive orders, if the president does an executive order or Congress passes a law and there's some disagreement about it, it could usually end up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has the power to say, we're not doing this because it is against the Constitution. Well, your mission statement is going to be your Constitution, and it will allow you to know what, according to what you say you want to be, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Let me give you an example. It's a picture of the Monastery Immaculate Conception in Ferdinand, Indiana. I was asked, along with a couple of other people, by the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana, as a matter of fact, to help the monastery find out how they could use their land. They had about 180 some acres to raise money because this is only part of it that you see in this picture. It was all nuns, and they were having a problem because they had a school for young women who might want to become nuns, and young women were no longer wanting to become nuns. So that was a problem. The other problem is because younger people weren't becoming nuns, the nuns there were dying off. Most of them were old. And so we were asked to take teams, mine was the land that they owned, and figure out how they might use that land to make money. Now, they told us that it would be an 8-week um, team, that we had 8 weeks to come up with an answer and or suggestions. And that didn't turn out to be true. It ended up being 8 months. And I had to not only, by the time we were finished each week with our meeting, the walls would be covered with flip charts, and I would have to take all of them, write them all up, send them all out, etc. Not 8 weeks, 8 months. So at the end of this project, they asked me to do another one. Now, you'll see that my mission statement has a lot to do about my family, but it doesn't have anything to do with spending 8 months in the evenings helping the nuns. I didn't charge them, by the way. They were supposed to pay us, and I didn't. How are you going to charge nuns that are trying to raise money to survive, right? Um, so, because I was able to read my mission statement, I was able to tell the nuns, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I need to spend the time with my family. Stephen Covey said, the things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter least. He said that. Goethe was originally the one who made that quote. So let's go ahead and get started. I am not a Macintosh person, and so I may mess up here. So if you will, turn to page 3 of your workbook, and we're going to start discovering some things. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So here are some questions I want you to answer. Your workbook should be interactive. You should be able to click beside or just under each of the questions, and you should be able to type there. I am at my best when. I'm at my worst when understand no one's going to see what you write today but you. So please, please become vulnerable to yourself, look inside, and answer these questions. What do I really love to do at work? I realize almost all of us aren't working, but what would you love to do at work? What do I really love to do in my personal life? And the last one is interesting. What are my natural gifts and talents, even though I may not have pursued them? When I was in the piano business, I can't tell you how many people I'd go tune somebody's piano or something. I can't tell how many people would say to me, I always thought I'd be a good piano player. I always knew I could play the piano. Well, did you? Did you take lessons? Have you tried? No, no, I should have, but I always felt like I could really do it. So I'm going to play some music while you answer these. And I will try to adjust it here, but you may have to adjust it on your end. Well, Steve, our music is not going to play.
Click the save it.
Yeah, I did, but it's because we aren't using the stick because all the music in a file on the stick.
Should we come back off?
Yeah, let us switch to a stick here, okay? Because it has the music on. You can go ahead on this page and start to answer the questions. So we're going to drop out of this and come back in the same thing on the stick.
See the stick. You see it. Where is it? There it is, right there.
Mhm.
And is it right there?
Yes. And I think we should still, the sound should still be on because it is in the Zoom. We're almost there.
Which one is it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
That is on your, is that on your stick? Let me get out of that and come back. Give me 1 sec.
There we go.
I think that's not the right one. Okay, now we start all over. Let's go back to the stick.
Still
Still on. Not what we want to see though.
in the presentation. There we go. Thank you, Steve. If the music is too loud for you, feel free to adjust it. Okay. If you aren't finished, go ahead and keep writing. Just let me explain. Some people think slowly and write quickly. Some people think quickly and write slowly. Some people do both quickly. Some people do both slowly. But we're in a time pinch today. So um, realize because you have the workbook, you can always come back to them if we happen to move on before you're finished with a page. So let's go on to our next discovery, and it is discovering your imagination. Jessica Masterson said, the next time your mind wanders, follow it around for a while. So think about it. If you had unlimited time and resources, money, someday I would like to, and don't just say go to Africa, say I'd like to take my children on a safari into the wilds of Africa. Use your imagination a little. Possible life goals for me are rather, in addition to finding a job, probably. What would you like to do? You have no limits, at least in what we're doing here. And then the bottom one might take some thought. I want to be a person who, you can finish that one. So we'll get through the whole thing of music this time. Okay, let's move on. The next page is Discover Your Imagination. Oh, we just did that, didn't we? It didn't advance for me. There we go. Discover your conscience. Grenville Cleaser said, down deep in every human heart is a hidden longing, impulse, and ambition to do something fine and enduring. So I want you to think about, what do you consider to be your most important future contribution to others? And what things do I feel I should do, even though I may have dismissed such thoughts many times? Remember, there are no limits while we're doing this. Okay, next step, let's talk about becoming a transition figure. Should be your page 6. Mother Teresa said, if I hadn't helped that first person who was dying on the street, I never would have helped the rest. A transition figure is someone who stops negative patterns from happening and chooses to take a different positive direction. Use the space below to reflect on what being a transition figure means to you. Let me give you an example. on this one. My wife, who's about the most wonderful person I've ever known in my life, grew up in a family that it was a pretty bad situation. Her father was not physically abusive, but you felt like he could be at any second. He was very threatening, um, very mean. And her mother and father, when she was 9 years old, split up and put their children in an orphanage, even though they were both still alive and functioning. When Mary and my daughter Ashley was about 3 years old, Mary came to me and said, "You know, I've found myself being really harsh with Ashley. If she spills a little bit of milk or anything, I yell at her very harshly." And she said, "I am not going to do to her what my father did to me. So I just want you to know from now on, every time I find myself being harsh with little Ashley, I am not going to eat anything for 24 hours." Folks, she lost 31 pounds before she slayed that dragon. But today, our daughter and my wife are best friends. Our daughter just won't make much of a decision without discussing it with her mother. They go places together. It was worth it. So I want you to think about who has been a transition figure in your own life and what did they do that made a difference to you? Also, who might you become a transition figure for, and what will you do to make a difference in their life? By the way, my wife is still a transition figure. About a year ago, we were talking to a neighbor in our little neighborhood, and she suddenly said, Mary, do you realize that you're the most admired person in this neighborhood? So, kind of related to the transition figure, but not necessarily. Discover those who have had the biggest positive influence on you. Who were they? I'd like for you to put their name there. And what were their attributes? In other words, what about them would you like to emulate in your own life? There are five of them there. If you don't have five, that's fine. Whoops. Sorry, myself, and come on, it keeps changing back. Oh, Steve, how do I go backwards?
Here, I'll help you.
It's advancing automatically.
Okay. Or one.
Oh, down there. Whoops, one forward. Oops. Okay, now let's see if we can do the music without it advancing. Take your time. We are not in a hurry. Okay. On this page, you'll discover why I ask you not to jump ahead, but to take it one page at a time with us. You'll see here that there is room for 6 roles. I would like for you to, if you have this many, I would like for you to work with the first 5, but please do not enter anything into that role 6. Think of the different roles in your life as the different hats you wear. But what I'd like for you to write down, we're only doing the roles, nothing else on the page. I'd like for you to write down the most important roles in your life. Might be father, might be mother, might be supervisor, might be Sunday school teacher, might be anything, but the most important roles in your life. Remember, don't do number 6 yet. This probably won't take you quite so long, so I will probably stop the music. Uh, Sorry, I don't know why it's doing this. Oops.
Two speakers.
Yeah, we got 2 songs on this. What are your most important roles? Okay. Does anybody need more time with your roles? Be hard for me to see if you do. Okay, that usually doesn't take very long. In role number 6, if you will, please write the word me there. Most of us do not give ourselves the grace of thinking about us. So just write the word me in there, if you will. Next, we're going to concentrate on the key person. In each of these most important roles in your life, there will be a key person that is the most important person to you when you are in that most important role. Now, if you have the role of parent or father or mother, I'm not going to ask you to differentiate between your children. You may use the name children. But other than that, for all the other roles, I would like for you to write the person's name in there. Now, Understand this. You may not have even thought of it this way before, but if these are the most important roles in your life, and the key person is the most important role person to you when you are in that role, that makes these people the most important people in your life. And of course, for role number 6 under key person, I'd like for you to write your name, please. Yes, in role 6, please type me and then put your name as the key person when you're being used. Okay. Now, this is where the nitty gets gritty, folks. This can be a little emotional for some people, so if you need a Kleenex, that's fine. If you need to turn your camera off for a minute, that's fine also. But you'll see the space that says tribute statement. Here's our scenario. We are in the future now. I don't know how long in the future. None of us do. I hope a long time, but we don't know. And unfortunately, you have now just passed away. No more time to correct anything. Each of these people who, as we said, the key persons are the most important people in your life, are at your funeral, and they have been asked to each stand up and give a tribute statement about what you meant to them. Carla, I'm sorry that it should be the role for you should be at the bottom of the, it should be a role 6. Each of these people have been asked to stand up and give you a tribute station. Now, please don't write yet because I do not want you to write what you think they would say. For these most important people in your life, please do not write what you think they would say. I want you to write what you want them to be able to say when you pass away. Might be entirely different. What do you want them to be able to say when you pass away? Sorry, it really jumped that time. Oops, wrong direction. Have a little funeral music here. And don't neglect number 6. What would you like to be able to say about yourself when you pass away? We'll take some time for this one. I'll wait just another minute. Okay. If you haven't quite finished this page, you've got the workbook, and so you can come back and finish it. It's an important one. By the way, please don't neglect when we're finished here to save your workbook where you can find it. Otherwise, you'll lose everything that we're doing today. So here's what I'd like for you to do on this page. Starting today, what are the just one or two most important things you could do in each key person relationship to make your tribute statements become a reality? It might just be a phone call. It might be an invitation to dinner. At the end of one 7 Habits of Highly Effective People workshop that I taught, I asked the class, what do you want to do going forward from today? And a lady said, I said something unkind about my husband's new wife in front of him and her, and they have not had contact or spoken with us in 3 years. I'm going to go home tonight and call them to apologize. And I said, well, wait a minute. I want to kind of set this up for you. If you haven't talked to them in 3 years and you suddenly call out of the blue, don't be surprised if they aren't very receptive. And she said, I don't care. I just want them to know how sorry I am. So I saw her later in the hall at work and asked her how it went, and she said they were coming for Thanksgiving. I saw her after Thanksgiving and asked her how it went, and she said it went great. They're coming to spend Christmas with us. Shortly before Christmas, this was their only child. Shortly before Christmas, her husband unexpectedly died, and the only person that she had was her son. What if she had not made that call? So, it doesn't have to be complicated. What are one or two most important things you could do in each key person relationship to start to make those tribute statements become a reality? Oh. Including yourself, number 6. Take just another minute. Don't neglect key person six, folks. Okay, on your page 10, you'll see what's a life continuum from your birth to your death. And on your interactive sheet, you have a bunch of dots across the bottom. You don't have to draw a horizontal line like it says here because you've got the dots. So I would like for you to do this. I would like for you to click on the dot along the continuum where you think you are currently in your life. I know it's a guess, but for me, mine would be farther to the right. So go ahead and click on that where you think you are currently, your best guess. Now, would someone speak up and just tell me what do you think the distance between the dot you chose and the death at the end of the continuum represents? Go ahead, Roger.
The decades in our lives.
The decades in our lives, true, but also that distance between the dot and the end of the continuum, the death end, represents how much time you have left to make those tribute statements come true. I wish I had done this when I was much younger, but it represents the amount of time you have left to make the tribute statements come true. Now, I'm going to play some music on this one, but we're going to take about 15 minutes for it. So I'd like for you to look back over the pages you've just filled out so far, and I want you to jot down your thoughts of things that you might like to include in your mission statement. Don't worry that it isn't cohesive or polished. At this point, you're just trying to capture some ideas that you don't want to lose. You'll organize them later, and you may continue, uh, just keep writing. Try not to stop. Try to keep going as you look back through your pages. Um, please answer the question. Keep this in your mind as you're going. What is my mission? What matters most? And write those things down here. You will actually work on your mission statement later. You're just looking for things right now that you want to possibly include in your mission statement. We will take time for this. Sorry. Um, Steve has one of those Apple mice that has no buttons and no roller on it. If you feel like you want to write your mission statement, go ahead. We'll take just a couple more minutes. Remember, you can always come back after you have this saved and add to it, change it, whatever you need. I can hear Steve typing, so I feel like I'm cutting him off, and I don't want to do that. I'm sorry,
It's
Steve.
okay.
You can you can come back. Now, on your page 12, there's more than you'll see here is a mission statement museum, let's call it. It's just some examples of a mission statement or different mission statements. Um, Mine is much longer than any of these here, but yours is yours. Stephen Covey's was 5 words long. He never told anybody what they were that I know of, but some of these are very good. Um, I love the one by Mahatma Gandhi. Let the first act of every morning be to make the following resolve for the day. I shall not fear anyone on earth. I shall fear only God. I shall not bear ill will toward anyone. I shall not submit to injustice from anyone. I shall conquer untruth by truth, and in resisting truth, I shall put up with all suffering. I think he lived his mission pretty good, but I want to let you know we once you write your mission statement, you should look at it quite often, even weekly before the week starts out. And I will almost guarantee you from my own experience that it will put you under conviction because you said, here's what matters most to me, here's who I want to be. And you'll read it and you'll think, yeah, I'm slipping here, or I'm slipping there. It's okay. Your mission statement is not who you are, it's who you want to be. It's a roadmap to get you there. Benjamin Franklin, his version of a mission statement was what he called his list of virtues. He had, I think, 11 of them, and he wrote them down. He was very proud of them, so he showed a friend and asked the friend what he thought, and his friend said, huh, well, I guess you don't value humility, huh? And Franklin said, do you think I should have that on there? And his friend said, absolutely. It's important. So Ben added humility to his list of virtues that he wanted to live. At the end of his life, he was able to say that he did a pretty good job of living his virtues, except for one of them, and that was humility. If you know anything about Benjamin Franklin, you know he was a little short on humility. He was very proud of himself and the things he had done. The reason he struggled with that, folks, was because it wasn't his. It was his friends who put that upon him. Don't let anybody put upon you anything that you don't want in your personal mission statement. There are two others on here that I really like. One of them may not. You've probably seen this before. I want to become the person my dog thinks I am. And the other one is no empty seats. Here in Utah, I'm not LDS. I'm not a Mormon, but I love them. I love them. They have a family night once a week, many of them. And everybody in the family is expected to be there for dinner and to talk to each other and stuff. And so that's what the one no empty seats means. My mission, my choice. Because I believe that God is the author and finisher of all good works and principles, I choose to seek the mind of God in everything I do. Because I believe that the earth and stars were hung on nothing, and that nothing surrounds and touches everything, I choose to become nothing so that I can be in touch with everything. Because I believe that the most sacred union this present world has to offer is that of marriage, I choose to love my wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life for her. I choose to take the time necessary to guard her strength, her sense of security and well-being. I choose to try to die out to my own wants and wills in favor of listening to her, not only with my head, but with my heart as well. Because God has somehow seen fit to give me the unspeakable joy of being a father, I choose to look for ways to connect with my daughter on her level and not insist that she imitate mine. Because I've somehow been seen fit to give me gifts and talents, I choose to use, develop, and nurture them for the use of His kingdom's work and for the good of those around me. I choose to help others discover who they are and who He is without making demands. Because I believe that a part of my legacy will live on in those things I teach others, I choose to sacrifice of myself to help others learn their worth and potential so clearly that they begin to believe it of themselves. I choose to be loyal to those who are not with me, to choose of my strength to those who are weak, and to give of my spirit to those who are poor in spirit. I choose to love everyone the same, regardless of race, creed, social, or economic standing. I choose to listen with my eyes, to see the heart of the person to whom I'm listening, and to realize whose presence I'm in. Your mission statement can be long, it can be short. Just make sure that it is yours. Here we go. Forget the last page, if you will. Please just forget the last page in your workbook. My daughter, who is super busy, took time to remove everything out of your workbook that said Home Depot, but I forgot to ask her to change the last page. What you see on the screen is what we would like to do. If possible, by our next meeting, please try to complete a final draft of your mission statement. Your mission statement may change over time. One of the personally most powerful things you can do is to share your mission statement with others. Done this in classes many times, and I'm always, and the class has always ended up floored by listening to people's mission statements. So each week, we'll ask for one volunteer, underscore volunteer, to share your mission statement with the group. If you think you shouldn't, if you think it's too private, that's fine. This is completely volunteer, but keep in mind that it's a very powerful thing to do. Steve, we're way ahead on time, about 20 minutes. So I'd like for you to make some comments about your experience with what we've just gone through.
Should I take off this? Should I take off
Yeah,
this?
I'll let you sit
No,
down.
you sit here. You sit where you are. Good. If everybody wants to show their face or whatever, does that make it a little bit easier? You can see everybody.
So, what did you get, if anything, out of what we've done this morning? You can just speak up.
I'll do
Well,
it.
first of all, thank you, Mr. Light, for your time and educating us further on some of these elements. For me, the biggest thing with these is just to put things in perspective and further attempt at focusing on what we need to do for ourselves for the short term and long term.
Yes, thank you. The things that matter most must never be held captive by the things that matter least. Steve,
Thanks, Alex. I was just gonna go around and call on people as we normally do. Now, I know you can't hear me from here, but you can hear me from the John's computer because it will echo. So I'm just gonna call on people and you can pass. It's okay. Jason Green.
What was that?
I'm calling on people if they want to make a comment.
Okay. So normally I'm at the end, so I was shocked to be first. Um, no, it got deeper than I was expecting it to. Um, uh, I'm not I like I say I got caught up listening to your mission statement, and I didn't get anything written down from my last one or for my own.
that's okay.
But I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jason. Roger.
I found it very interesting. It did a lot of reflection back upon my life and my career, where I was and where kind of want to go. One of where the mission statement actually kind of hits home more is I'm kind of at a passroads in my life
Yes.
between my career and possibly going back to work or retiring and so forth. So it kind of reflects on what I really want to do more in life. And one of the things I've been learning to do more is how to every night before you go to bed is plan your next day and kind of plan your week and your month and where your objectives are and to where you want to be. Um, and kind of by doing so, you're doing a lot of reflection like you did here in
Yes.
doing this. So that's kind of what I got out of a lot of it.
Great.
Thank you, Roger. And again,
Can I speak up?
Yes.
Marlon.
I'm driving, so it's gonna sound terrible, but this is not what I was expecting, to be honest. And I couldn't find any role, and that makes me ponder, where am I in life at this point? The last one that it was myself, sure, I was able to find a lot of things, but I haven't find anything else. I felt that I didn't have any place. And that's something that I had to work on it and think about it. But what I did, it was kind of hard because I was go back and forth between your presentation and my diary. I was writing things that I was discovering at the same time that I never thought about it. And yeah, it opened my eyes that I need to do a lot of work on it. And it's not just about a job. I don't know. I think the majority of us, we need a job, but it's not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not what I'm looking for right now. It's something else. And I mean, that probably doesn't come with the paycheck, but at least it has a lot of to do with myself. And that's what this class was for me. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. It was great.
Oh, good. That makes it worth it.
Yes, it was.
Thanks, Carla. Cindy, thank you for your comment. There's a comment Cindy put in the chat. Thank you, Cindy. Again, I'll call on people, and if you don't want to say anything, it's perfectly fine. But I'm just Brent Sadler.
Yeah, so I thought this was a great exercise. I just want to echo everything everyone else said. I also appreciate the introspection. Um, During my career searching, it's been really difficult for me to really be critical of myself and look for areas of improvement and ways to surface those things that I need to work on or I feel um, are closer to my goal. And this exercise has really helped me find that, and I appreciate that.
Oh, good. Good, good, good.
Thanks, Brent. Tammy.
On mine, I wasn't surprised at all. My biggest goal in life has always been to be the best parent I possibly can. And I take that very seriously.
Yeah.
And I will just continue to strive to be the best parent and um, to help myself as well so that I can participate in things that I want to.
Great. It probably surprised you that when my wife was 9, her parents put her and her sister in an orphanage.
Right.
Well, despite what her dad was like, when he got older, they took his driver's license away, etc. She came to me and said she wanted to bring him into our home to live out his last days. And I said, well, you know what he's like. He's going to be really hard on you. And she said, she calls me Johnny. She said, Johnny, he's our present. And we took him in until he passed away.
So was he hard on her
Yes,
when he was at home?
yes. I had to bite my tongue many times.
Thanks, Tammy. Tara.
Um, I The interesting thing for me was the transition figures because while I could think of some positive people, I mostly thought of people that I have no desire to be like.
Oh,
So, like the negative, it's like, okay, so a transition figure, it's like, oh, I had this particular person in this particular workplace. I have no desire to be like them ever, so I'm going to be completely opposite of that and be a good person.
yeah.
So I don't know if that's like what I should have taken away, but that's the first things I thought of was all the negative transition figures where it's like, I don't want to be anything like them.
That's great. That's what it's about. Taking negative energy and switching it around to positive. You're right on track.
Thanks, Tara. And Tiffany made a nice comment as well. If you guys want to read that. And this is emotional. Jon Jon did tell you you might need Kleenex. He's got the Kleenex, I don't. So hopefully you guys didn't see me have some emotional allergies. So I think everybody had a chance to comment if they wanted to, either in the chat. So thank you for Cindy and Tiffany putting stuff in the chat. This is not our normal job team, but I thought that this would be really, really helpful. And I think the next step, I like the offer that Jon has, where those who feel comfortable to share that in the future. Jon, what else?
Well, just once again, check back on your mission statement often. And like me, I'm sure it will convict you every time almost. But it helps you to stay on that true north. The last thing I would like to say is to make sure you understand um, why, somebody answer me, why do we consider a lot of things that are rare valuable? Why are a lot of things that are rare considered to be valuable?
Because not everyone has the opportunity to have it.
Yeah, yeah, there's not much of it, is there? So we consider it to be valuable in many cases. Well, have you ever stopped to think that from the beginning of the world until the end of the world, there has been no one exactly like you? No one exactly like you. You're the only one that ever was or ever will be. That makes you extremely rare and it makes you extremely valuable. Folks, you are more valuable than all the gold in all the world. Don't ever let anybody make you think differently, please.
Cindy also answered your question. She said, because we don't see or experience them as often.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let the fact that you've been let go or your job went away, don't don't listen to what is it you call it, Steve?
Mind chatter.
The mind chatter.
Mind chatter, negative mind chatter.
You're worth more than all the gold in all the world, you individually.
Jon, I like the comment that says, what is it? Circumstances don't define us, they refine us.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us and sitting through this today. Steve, I will turn it over to you now.
Go ahead and stay there. I will, because I know people can hear me. I'm going to end the recording. So again, big round for those who could do a big round of applause. Big round of applause for Jon for doing this. Okay. And I'm going to end the recording, and then I'm going to talk for just a quick sec. I'm going to have to end the recording over there, hopefully. Give me a sec here. I got to come over to this computer.
Oh, let me get up.
No, no, you're fine. Stay right there. Just need to go down here and